A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
When Alex became a god, he thought he would have no problems at all. Until... he landed in the Divine Dimension and was tasked with protecting the entire multiverse.
Am I connected to every single Alex Ambrose that ever existed?
Alex could travel across dimensions, defying the laws of time and space, to help other Alexes throughout the multiverse. But then everything changed.
No! Aw!
I have to go back and save them.
But if Alex went back to the mortal world, he would relinquish all of his power and his memories.
I don't have a choice. I must go back.
When Alex returned back to Earth, he goes back to being your average business tycoon millionaire, unaware that the people he cared most about are in danger.
Someone help me!
Yvonne, what happened?
I was attacked by a monster. Alex? What's going on? Get away from him! He is my boyfriend!
Who attacked Yvonne in the forest? What will Debbie do next? Who will Alex choose between the two women? Will Alex ever remember who he was before traveling into a different multiverse? To hear what happens next and whether Alex can stop the deranged monster before he strikes again, listen to...
It's time for a new era here on Turn 200 as we welcome everybody into our first ever coverage of the Special Stage Pro Truck Series. It's time for the Nevada Nationals here at Wild West Motorsports Park. Welcome in to tonight's coverage alongside Mr. James Watson. I am Tommy Cook. We're excited to bring you round number 1 of 8 of the season here at Wild West Motorsports Park for the first time in an official capacity here on Turn 200. More on that in just a second. We'll give you the starting grid here for race number 1 of 2 on the night. And it is no surprise to see Josh Edmondson at the front of the field here. Sean Winkler on the outside row, or outside front row. James Lehman and Joey Hervey on row 2. Mark Rico, Greg Johnson, top 6. Joey Kirk, Ryan Dye, Josh Romanchek, Trevor O'Neill. We've got 21 drivers signed in here for our first ever round of racing here at Wild West Motorsports Park. So let's start the starting grid as James will welcome you in. It's about 9/10 of a mile, only 4 turns. I would imagine this track has taken you off guard many a time. It's not as simple as it seems.
No, it's super complicated. There's a lot of things you have to keep in mind. You know, entering into turn 1, I like to call that dive bomb central because, well, I don't think I need to explain it any further. Where you're carrying so much speed down the straightaways that you just absolutely send it into the corner.
Here we go. 20 laps for both races here as we are underway. And dive bombs already aplenty as we're headed down the hill into turn number 2. And it's
Oh, there's some contact
there's
already.
some
Oh.
problems. Lots of stacking up, lots of shots.
Oh, there goes a hood. Oh, there goes 2 hoods.
They are everywhere. Schlosser with a problem. Multiple drivers here with issues. We're headed through
That's
turn
it.
3, headed back up the hill now. And we're still bumping together. There's Monchek, Johnson, and Dye battling inside the top 10 here.
Oh, here we go. It's gonna look in three
Three
wide.
wide.
This, Oh, and
That's Matichek there in the middle. Die on the inside. Johnson on the outside.
oh,
and they
there's
get
contact.
together.
Oh, there's a truck caught on the fence.
Oh, boy. Ryan Dye is hung up there.
Eh.
And in about 15 minutes, I don't think he's going to save 50%, but he might get himself off the wall. He might get himself disqualified here, quite honestly. Not quite sure what the Mount Olive number 4 is doing.
Backing up. Backing up. Oh, man. You can do it. You can do it.
Oh, my Lord.
I don't think he's going to do it. Oh.
He might be able to. Well, as he hits a 50-50 board slide there, we're going to keep going. We'll turn our attention back up front as Josh Edmondson is leading, and this is no surprise. He's a pro licensed driver, and he is whooped up on the field in the unofficial Season 0.
Yeah, I've raced a lot with Josh over the years, and I don't think there's a person who can wheel a Pro 2 or Pro 2 Lite better than this man. There's just something about these he's ridiculously quick in anything, don't get me wrong. He can also absolutely dump through the field in an RX car or a Pro 4, but his bread and butter always seems to be the Pro 2s and similarly the Pro 2 Lights. He just has this ability to just fling these trucks through better than anyone.
And, of course, we didn't really have time to post your credentials. Of course, if anybody that would know you from Turn 200 would know you because you are a 2-time Daredevil Series champion. You're also an 8-time official champion of this very truck, the Pro 2 Light, the most underpowered of the off-road trucks, but certainly the most fun, as these drivers are having a lot of fun here.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Oh, man, there's another hood gone.
I think that's
It's fine. You don't need it.
Mark Greco in the 64 has had an interesting race already. As we've got him.
Oh,
stuck
no,
up
there's
here.
another stuck truck.
That
Oh,
is Josh
dear.
Heggie and Jarrell Williams, 2 regulars of the ASRL Sports Car Championship, with a similar Ryan Dye issue here. He is stuck. And good luck getting the truck off here.
Yep.
We'll go ahead back up to second place really quick. This is Sean Winkler. And he is catching Josh Edmondson. That gap was just at about 2.5 seconds. All of a sudden, it is 0.6 of a second. You can see the gap there, a few truck lengths as they head back down the hill. I mean, 20 laps here. As you can still see him trying to get off the wall for Josh Heggie. At least he's got to be out of the way. I mean, how
Josh
do you manage,
Heggie jump scare.
how do you manage a gap if you're Edmondson, or how do you try to close? How do you determine when to push? It's not quite the blind leading the blind, but you're going to have to teach me how to race on the dirt off-road trucks here this season.
Yeah, typically I talk about, tire wear and having to make sure you keep the rears under you. Since the massive dirt update actually gave tire wear, but for reasons I don't understand, I don't think the Pro 2 Lite has actually gotten that update, because I've seen it many times where the tires should be worn a lot more than like 99-98%. So you don't really have to worry about, not burning the rears off. So it's really just, consistency and pacing yourself and just staying focused. There's so many places on this track to make a serious mistake. Like going up into here, this is the hardest corner and the most important corner on this track, because you see leads you right on to the long main straightaway. If you mess that corner up, you are losing so much time, and this is your best passing opportunity, dive bomb central and all that. But turn 4, it's so easy to make a serious mistake, because if you're incorrect on your line and you're tracking out a little more on exit, if you catch the wall with your rear axle, it's gonna push you into the wall, and it's going to push you into the fence. And as we've seen, getting caught on a fence is not good. And Yeah, it messes up your race pretty hard, and it's really easy to mess up your line going into the corner because you see the whoops right here. Although it's usually about 2 whoops, I'd say whoop sections are a little more. So this is about a half a whoop section, woo, if you will. So you really have to keep that in mind when you're getting it down into the corner and not getting too off kilter, not letting the woo kind of upset the truck too much and still allow you to hit the apex and nail that exit just right.
Is that the etymology, the proper wording of that? It's either a woo or an oop?
Pretty much, yeah. If you're not too careful, that woo can turn into an oops real fast.
Let's take our first replay here. Greg Johnson was running inside of the top 5, or battling to get inside the top 5 here, coming down into turn number 2. We've seen this corner claim quite a few drivers already. A little contact there with Matichek, and he is, well, at least he cleared himself, and he's able to get right back going.
Oh.
Nearly takes some company with him. That will bring us back to the live action. Johnson drops from 6th down to 9th, but at least he's back up and rolling again. So we're not quite to halfway. Edmondson going to put lap number 9 up on the board. 12 laps to go. So there are 2 races per night in the special stage off-road trucks. After this, we will not talk to any of our podium finishers. We'll have a 2-minute little warm-up break to try and recuperate and get ready for race number 2. Race number 2 will involve a full field invert. So Edmondson, if he were able to pull this one off, would be starting 21st for another 20-lap race to close out the night.
Yeah, I tell you, having the break in between the races, it's really good for all the teams because, as you see, a lot of them have a lot of body work that they're going to have to replace. So having that time in between, it's huge for the teams, you know.
For anybody that was just watching the World of Outlaws, you would have seen Donnie Schatz replace his motor from hot laps to a qualifying run in probably about 20 minutes or so. So hopefully these drivers could get it done in 2 minutes.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time, absolutely. This is Mark Greco in 4th, and your tentative bronze runner right now is Joey Herbie in the 53 truck. Greco keeping about a second behind. And outside of that, there's not a whole lot of battling going on this track. I think Colin McDonough and Jarrell Williams or rather, that's a lap truck. But McDonough, I think, having some connection issues. He's hopping all over this leaderboard. But the gap for the lead staying at about a second still is Winkler trying to give charge to Josh Edmondson for the lead. Edmondson, I believe last time we talked to him, said that the plan was not to run the full season, which I think should inspire some of these drivers a little bit, because seeing somebody with a 10,000 I rating pull up into the series is a little bit disheartening, even if some of these drivers are able to keep some pace.
Yeah, I will say, Sean Winkler, he's had one heck of a glow up in his career over the last couple years. I remember racing with Sean when he was first kind of starting out and finding his footing in the off-road community, and he has turned into one of the fastest guys you will ever come across. And it's amazing to see his growth from where he started to what he's become today. You know, being able to keep this close to Josh Edmondson, that is not an easy feat, let me tell you. A heck of a lot closer than I would be keeping it, or have ever kept it.
Lovely scenes high above Wild West Motorsports Park. Fun little joint. If we could bring the NASCAR trucks here for a points-paying race, I absolutely would.
Yes.
Not sure how many drivers we get, though.
You would have me signed up.
There you go. We're just showing a problem for Matt Schlosser. I think he is okay. Nathan Ramsey, similar issues, but I think is back up and rolling. that a TWRS truck right there? How about Victor Aldrich rocking out here today? He's inside the top 10.
It's a shame you can only see half of that truck because that is a beautifully painted truck. Another masterpiece from Dizzy V Designs, although you can only see part of it. And I think I can see the other part of it somewhere off in the distance.
Was the hood as good as the rest of the truck, I think?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Well, maybe we'll see it at the start of race 2. Oh, and that's Ramsey giving chase there, and he is around. Yeah, hello to everybody in the chat, including Matt Williamson. Matt's scheduled to be on the call when we come back to Wild West Motorsports Park here later in the season. I'll have some real-life racing duties to tend to, so he'll get the championship race. Hello to Bailey Marie. We'll give a quick check-in on Joshua Matacek. He is running in 6th and has quite a gap to the driver in front and behind, so in a bit of no man's land. No driver or no car and side cameras here tonight. Still trying to get things buttoned up on my end, so hopefully we'll have some more toys to play with in the next couple of weeks. Of course, Stickers McQueen cheering on Rodney Matney. Matney right now running in the 11th position after Ramsey got spun out there. Ramsey gave a chase to Matney, but Matney trying to track down Victor Aldrich has quite a ways to go. Corey Rutherford says he's retired for the night, but thanks for hanging out in the chat with us. I don't think Caden Gullo ever started, so we're down to 19 of our 21 starters. Hello to Nate Siefker as well, hanging out with us. Yes, it is trucks indeed. And a trucks to you too, sir. Still 0.6 of a second here, Winkler. Not done with Edmondson. Gotta be kind of exhausting to have the driver in your crosshairs for this entire time and not be able to make the move yet. But we are getting up to lap traffic.
Especially here, you know, passing in jumpy truck racing in general is not easy. A lot of these tracks don't have the passing opportunities that you would think, especially with some of the lines you have to take here. Like, again, look at how early you have to turn in to be able to keep the truck pointed where you want over the woo section. So because of that, you can't really pass unless you dive bomb. But again, that's why it's called Dive Bomb Central, because it's kind of the only real way you have to pass. Because you have to either turn in late or turn in early. So if you do get your nose in there, it's only just going to be a little bit. And you're in the vortex of danger. Oh, there's a mistake from Edmondson. Wow, uncharacteristic as well.
It looks so simple, so innocent, but you're right. He quick to pounce there is Winkler.
Ooh. Yeah, but he just kind of clipped the little dirt kind of cushioned up by the inside fence, and it cost him just a tiny bit. Yeah, so you really have to get your elbows out, because otherwise you're either not going to be far alongside, and you have to make up that gap that you need somewhere, or just hope for a mistake. And when you're at the pointy end of the field in one of these races, racing against these guys, you can't really bank on a mistake. So that's why you see a lot of off-road races tend to be a bit rubbing is racing, to put it mildly. Otherwise, you get really, really cool duels like this. So you wonder if Sean could make a move here in the next few laps.
Well, I don't know much about anything, but you pointed out the mistake last time, or a couple of times ago. Last time through turn 2 as well, Edmondson looked like he made a similar mistake. It looks like he's a bit vulnerable in turn 2. Winkler might have him there if he could stay this close with 3 laps to go.
Yeah, turn 2 kind of has the same issue that turn 4 does. There's a little whoop. It's only one, so I guess it's a woo. So you're kind of doing the same thing, having to make sure the truck is kind of set in and as you're turning, and you can easily kind of mess it up and just slide out a little more than you want, giving that truck behind that little extra room they need to really get a lot more alongside. And if you make that one mistake and you let them in there, it's hard to fight back on the outside. And so chances are you're losing that position, and then you're in the person that's been chasing you's shoes and hoping for a mistake from them.
No blue flag rules in the league, to my knowledge anyway, but Jarrell Williams graciously moves out of the way. And our leaders have 2 laps to go, as that was not a very good center there for Edmondson.
I think it was worse for Winkler, because you can see Josh kind of eked out a little more. Yeah, you're definitely right, Tommy. Sean is making up some pretty good ground in the center of turn 2 to Josh.
Couple truck lengths to try and overcome here. One more trip through turn number 4, and then these drivers will see the white flag. No other battles inside the top 10. We've got a battle for 18th is the only other battle for position, but 1 to go. Edmondson versus Winkler, the show we all paid to see.
Oh, no.
Oh, one hung up on the fence. Right die again. We'll see if Winkler can button it up here again. He drove it in deep that time.
I think that might have hurt him just a little bit.
And Edmondson has been good in the uphill. All the who's and the oops. But there have been no oops for Edmondson. One last attempt there for Winkler, but it's all for naught. Josh Edmondson will be the first official winner in the Special Stage Pro Truck Series. Round number 1 at Wild West Motorsports Park goes to the 58 truck. Sean Winkler will take home the silver, and Joey Herbie will be your bronze taker here in the opening race of the night. Remember, we've got 1 more to go. They're 2 races of equal length, so another 20-lapper coming up here in just a second as soon as we get some more drivers across the line. James Lehman will finish in 4th, Mark Greco in 5th, Joshua Maticek in 6th, Joey Kirk in P7, it's Stephen C. Thompson in 8th, Greg Johnson in 9th, and Victor Aldrich looking to bring it home in 10th. There's Rodney Matney in 11th, Nathan Ramsey in 12th, and the last driver on the lead lap is going to be Matt Schlosser in 13th. And thanks to Matt for bringing James and I along for this one. Excited to finally get some dirt road racing on the channel and to showcase the jumpy trucks in the proper way. Not that, there's anything totally improper about Thunderdome, but, this is a little more practical, I would argue anyway.
Yeah, but it's definitely a much different viewing experience, we'll say that.
Definitely a bit more unique, that's for sure. Well, why don't we do a couple of the things that we were going to do in the pre-race. Mixed up a couple of the times on us, which is totally fine. But let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule for the season. We've got 1 more round upcoming here, of course, tonight. This is Wild West Motorsports Park. Some people will be busy next Friday night, so we'll go ahead and give them Valentine's Day off. But we're back at the Charlotte Rallycross track on February the 21st. We're running the short version of Crandon on the 28th. We're going to the Bristol Dirt Oval on March 7th. Then it'll be a Firebird, which I have turned 0 laps at. We'll get your input on that here in just a second. Brands Hatch Rallycross course and Sonoma Rallycross course, 2 RX tracks back-to-back, and then we're right back here to Wild West on the 8th. Any of these tracks in particular, of course, the Rallycross races will have their own format, and we'll go over those, I guess, in a couple weeks here. But any of these tracks in particular jump out to you as being particularly interesting?
Yeah, I think the easiest answer on that is Bristol Dirt. Bristol Dirt is always a interesting time no matter what you're driving on it. And having these things, it's going to put on one heck of a show. You're going to have a lot more side-by-side racing and being able to beat and bang a lot more. I think we're going to be in for a heck of a show. And then I'm obviously, if you following the channel, well, I have a lot of love for Sonoma, it being the motherland. So seeing these guys wheel these things around the Sonoma Rallycross track, I'm looking forward to seeing how that works. I've never actually driven the trucks around Sonoma Rallycross myself, so I'm curious to see on how that's going to look and how that's going to do. And Firebird, oh man, that's going to be a slugfest. It is. I want to say it's the smallest track on the schedule.
Wow.
I do not think that is correct, but it certainly feels that way because there's a lot of hairpins, a lot of narrow, and a lot more full-fledged whoop sections that are very unpleasant to drive. And so because of the close confines, you will see a lot more chaos, it won't get as spread out as what you see from here. You'll be pretty much on top of some other truck pretty much the entire race, especially if we get the same amount of entrants tonight as we do for that round.
Let's see what we could see out on the track, maybe, if it'll let me. Here we go. Anything jump out at you there from our first race? Anything unexpected? I mean, you've been around the block plenty of times, and I'm sure all 8 of your official championships have had to roll through Wild West Motorsports Park probably multiple times, if I had to guess. But anything jump out at you from what we saw there in round 1?
Honestly, I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. Pretty much the race played out how I was. Maybe I expected a little more carnage going into turn 1, so I'm proud of everyone that we were able to get through it as clean as we did. But the calamity we did get at turn 2, that that's par for the course, and the race is spreading out too. You wouldn't think it because of how few corners there are here, but the time delta is a lot greater than you think, and even the slightest mistake will cost you so much time, and doing that consistently, that's why you see those big gaps from truck to truck, not counting the top 2, of course.
Alrighty, it's grid time. Time to go racing here for round number 2 of the season here for the Special Stage Pro Truck Series, the Nevada Nationals. Not sure if we'll see either of our front row contenders, Caden Golo or Corey Rutherford. So that may leave Ryan Dye and Josh Jackson to be the ones on row number 1. Regardless, they'll slot in at row 2 for now. Trevor O'Neill, Josh Heggie on row number 3. Jarrell Williams, Colin McDonough on the 4th row. Matt Schlosser, Nathan Ramsey tentatively rounding out your top 10. Ronnie Matney, Victor Aldrich on row number 6. Greg Johnson and Stephen Thompson on row 7. Joey Kirk and Joshua Matacek on the 8th row. It is Mark Greco, James Lehman, Joey Herbie, Sean Winkler, and Josh Edmondson, your winner of round 1, all the way back in 21st. I'm sure as a competitor, you gotta love a full field invert here. It's got to be a great feeling for Edmondson as we are off and rolling.
Hold on to your butt cheeks, everybody.
It is Ryan Dye leading the charge here as they are stacking up big time all the way through the field.
Oh, man. Well, everyone's got their hoods so far.
So far, so good, but now we got to pile down the hill across the jumps into turn number 2, and that is a big problem.
A big stack up. Oh, no.
Oh, my Lord. That is an absolute junkyard. They are still trying to get untangled here. Ryan Dye leading. We'll definitely take a look at that here in just a second. That was a mess.
Man, Sean Winkler almost went over. I think Greg Johnson did go over. I think the biggest loser in that was Victor Aldridge, who ended up last because he was at the tail end of that stack up, and he just had to come to a complete stop and wait for the traffic to sort itself out.
We have definitely lost some hoods here by the end of lap number 1, but I think the flip count is still on the under, so if that's what you bet tonight, you might be okay. And the flip count on the rear bumper there of the Ford truck of Ryan Dye, that number is upside down for sure.
Darn it, I was about to point that out. Both of your broadcasters sharing a brain cell, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
To keep an eye on Josh Edmondson, he's up to 11th. Somehow he's made it through that relatively unscathed, if that was at all possible. That was absolute carnage to kick off round number 2 of the season. And our final round of the evening, Ryan Dye said he didn't have much confidence that he'd walk away with the podium here tonight, but he is leading. He's led both laps thus far. That is Josh Hagee giving chase to him, and Trevor O'Neill hoodless in the 22 truck here in third.
Yeah, this is a...
Oh, that is Josh Edmondson.
Oh, almost.
Edmondson nosed into the barrier there, and he will lose a couple more spots. Down to 13th.
What is this? Nerve-wracking rejoin there. I'm sure Greg had some things to say about that. Doing a great job trying to avoid that.
Things are not going well for your round 1 winner.
Yeah, this is not the track you want to have to make up a lot of positions at. I've said it many times already. Passing is not easy, but mistakes are. And
oh, this is for the lead. And that is Hagee getting up on the barriers there with the left side tires and trying to drag race Ryan Dye into turn number 2. Dye with the inside.
Oh, Ryan's still there. Oh, he cut him a huge break there.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
no.
That's your third place runner, Trevor O'Neill, running afoul of the barriers. And now Mark Greco, he may be the big beneficiary of early problems here for Edmondson and Winkler, as Greco had a lot of pace last race. Now he will slide up in front of O'Neill up the hill to take third away. Hagee and Dye not quite done yet for the lead, although Hagee had decent pace last race and just ended up with a lot of contact through it all. And also a 50-50 board slide, I think.
I hope he remembers to manual this race. Yeah, it's an interesting battle for the lead because both drivers know exactly what not to do. Oh, little bit. Speaking of what not to do.
And this will be Jarrell Williams trying to take advantage here on O'Neill.
Oh!
Yikes. Well, I'm looking for a lap 1 replay here, and we'll find it eventually. Worst case scenario, we'll just play it after the race here. Edmondson is back up to 11th, going to continue to try and charge here. As Jarrell Williams ahead of O'Neill now. Hagee pulling away from Ryan Dye to the tune of about a second and a half. Greco trying to catch him. Meanwhile, another inverter, Sean Winkler, second to last on the field to start it. He's up 13 spots to 7th. Just got past Josh Matichek there. As Matichek! Stuffs it in.
Oh.
And well, back into a couple drivers for good measure. Steven C. Thompson with some repair work to do.
That truck sure is Tonka tough, at least.
Yeah. There's O'Neill getting rooted out of the way by Joey Kirk. And this is Sean Winkler in this mess as well. Too wide, too deep, up the hill, headed to turn 4.
Oh.
And Kirk up to 4th. Oh, a little contact
no.
there. Oh, boy. And they save it.
Weebles wobble, but they keep it straight.
Podium finisher from last race, Joey Herbie, just went for a bit of a slide. He will save it for now as Winkler going to pull a slide job and gets bodied.
Oh,
and
no.
Problems for Jarrell Williams behind. And there goes another hood. And that's Josh Edmondson. So Edmondson now up to 6th. as he has had to bully his way through the field. Meanwhile, all of a sudden, Ryan Dye has clawed his way back into the fight here. It was about 2 seconds, and now it's a little under 1 second. And they're still keeping a good gap back to Mark Greco there in third. Still lots of battling, lots to settle here. Inside the top 10, Edmondson on the charge through. Williams, Johnson, Herbie, Josh Jackson. Look at that, nearly 4 abreast.
The fantastic scrap. Oh, 3 wide on exit. Oh, ooh, it was dangerous.
Williams hoping that he'll get clear here.
Oh,
Not
he's
sure that
gonna
he
get
will.
cleared, all right.
Oh, might get boarded. Looking for the crossover, but didn't quite have it there on 2 guys, on Johnson and Herbie. Oh, man. Off the wall there. That was quite a hard shot for Herbie on the outside. That might cost him a spot to Jarrell Williams.
Yeah.
It will.
From the window to the wall to now back down to the B7. Oh no! Oh, is that Kirk?
It might have been.
Yeah, Joey Kirk
Joey
stuck
Kirk.
on the wall.
And he is going to tow back to the pits. So we'll cut back to
Yeah.
Herbie and
That
Williams
is
side by
heartbreaking.
side. That's too bad. Oh, my Lord!
No!
I don't know how he's still in the ballpark, to be honest with you, but Herbie, I'm sure, not going to be very happy about that. He'll only lose 1 spot, and Steven Thompson's going to get himself a 2-for-1 special.
Yeah, there's a weird glitch with the trucks when they're side by side and there's a little bit of contact. If you slide up into someone and you just barely graze in the right section, it just kind of like netcode throws the truck on the outside. Right, and that's what it looked like happened. They just made a little bit of side contact and it just glitched out and caught Joey's truck just enough to like full on launch it. Oh, not even. He ramped off the tire
Wow.
of Williams, like perfectly hit the tire and it just launched the truck up. Oh my. Wow, that is wild. That is like a perfect storm for that to happen. I have never seen that before.
Well, Trevor O'Neill's been through a lot here this race. Now he's trying to get one back on Greg Johnson here. Johnson fighting back. This is the battle for 6th. I mean, let's be honest. These trucks have all been through a lot this race. Every single one of them. I think Josh Jackson just had to tow back to the pits. Check in on Josh Hagee real quick. Still with a 2-second lead. As quickly as Ryan Dye charged back up to Hagee. He has fallen back, and now Mark Greco is closing in. Greco in third. He's got 4 seconds back to Sean Winkler here in fourth. And Edmondson now riding in fifth, about 9 seconds behind your leader. So I don't know if we've ever done 2 sets of podium interviews at once before. This is going to be interesting to see how we're going to snake our way up, especially if there are multiple podium finishers. I don't know. We'll figure it out. As long as everybody gets some time at the end of the night, it doesn't really matter how we get there. We're blinking there for Dye. We'll ride on board.
That's going to make Greco a little nervous. Oh, that too. Yeah, that berm on the inside of turn 4, it's tempting. You want to use it and try to use it to hook you around, but as you saw, it kind of does the opposite. As Dye almost gets stuck on the fence again.
Lessons learned, maybe. Oh, boy, a little contact there.
Oh,
And-
he sent him around.
Yeah,
Oh.
and Dye hung up there. Whoops. And that is a podium lost for both of them as Josh Edmondson is now through. So is Sean Winkler. So Winkler to second, Edmondson to third, Greco and Dye back to fourth and fifth, respectively.
Well, looks like we only have to do one extra interview then.
As of now. We'll take one quick look at that here. I don't know why it keeps defaulting to the gyro cam, even though it is a cool shot. Regardless, I'll back that up just a bit. This is normally the Matt Williamson job. I'm still getting the hang of it here. A little bit of contact. That just gets him uprooted and sends him into the barrier. And we'll head back to the live shot now as they're back in fourth and fifth. This is Winkler and Edmondson side by side for second. They are 7.5 seconds behind Josh Hagee. And this is Winkler hanging on to this position at least temporarily.
You know Hagee is watching this in his relative like, yep, keep battling, guys. Keep battling. Oh, and a battle this is.
Boy, I wouldn't want to be wheel to wheel on a flat straightaway, let alone going across the jumps there on the front stretch.
Nonsense. What's the worst that could happen?
Slide job, Edmondson. He will take second for now. Winkler battling back and a little bit more contact. These two battling, by the way, were faster than your race leader last time around. That relative is still shrinking, and now it's going to continue to do so. As Winkler got a nose back out ahead, but is on the outside here for turn 3.
Ooh, little bit of contact with the inside for Josh.
Greco's got to be liking this as well. He's staying within a second of these two. As there's Edmondson rolling the inside there very nicely to hang on to that second position. 5 laps to go.
Ooh, Sean sending it. Oh, and he gets alongside.
Nice.
Wow.
Winkler. Good turn 1 there. Can he find a way inside of Edmondson? No, he's going to take the long way around.
Oh.
And that nearly got him a foul with Greco there.
Yeah, it took a little too much of the long way around.
Greg Johnson getting through on Ryan Dye to take 5th away. Stephen Thompson, Joey Herbie, James Lehman, Trevor O'Neill. The rest of the top 10 coming to 4 to go. With the battling hard now between Edmondson and Winkler, Hagee has been able to pull back out to 7.5 seconds. Edmondson runs a little bit faster this time, but that is a big gap to overcome here in just 4 more circuits of a track that is under a mile in length.
Yeah, it's not impossible, but it's not likely possible either. Just as long as... Well, I'm not going to finish that statement knowing my history of jinxes, so I'm just going to focus back on the action.
I'm sure Hagee would appreciate that as well. Greco may have a shot at a podium here.
I must say, I question the return on investment on being the primary hood sponsor on a jumpy truck because that is what your money is getting you. Look at that. You can't even see anything anymore.
Well, I'm not sure anybody's paying any money on Mark Greco's car, so you may be okay. Unless he's got them all on the hood.
He ran a 4-for-1 special.
Edmondson is eating into this gap, but it's still right around 7 seconds. It's not going to be enough at this clip. Winkler trying to put some distance back to Greco.
Yeah, Greco is doing a really good job of keeping connected with these two. You know, learning a lot being right behind them. And like if one of them makes another mistake, he might be able to slip in and claim a podium here.
Or there's the old-fashioned way. Oh, little bull bar action.
Yeah, he nearly did the old-fashioned way right there.
6 seconds. Maybe without that little slip up there, a couple laps into this one. And, of course, without the ginormous pile up there into turn number 2 on the first lap. We may have been talking a little bit different story, but as it stands right now, Josh Heggie flies across the line, will take the white flag, and 1 lap to go. Looking to upset the pro driver.
Yeah, this has been a phenomenal drive by him. Hardly a wheel out of place.
To the checkers, and it's Josh Heggie who will jump it across the line and take round number 2 here at Wild West Motorsports Park, the Nevada Nationals, round 2 to the 7 of Heggie. What a drive through the field. Your winner of round 1 will come home in second. Edmondson plus 19. Winkler will go plus 17 to finish in third. Mark Greco and Greg Johnson, the top 5. And you know what? He's still got his hood.
That's the most impressive thing, honestly.
He may be the only one in this race. We'll see if the hood is going to survive the celebration here, though. I've never noticed the inflatable gecko there. Right at the start-finish line. That is honestly kind of unsettling.
What, you don't want to save 15% or more on your car insurance?
At what cost? Emotionally, of course. Playing a little bumper tag here. Heggie with the big win. And he will park it on the top of the hill, and we will give you your full finishing results here as soon as I find the button for it. There we go. First time we've had to use it here tonight. But will it work? I don't know if it's going to. It's trying really hard. I think maybe I've got it on the wrong thing. Okay, well, we'll figure this out eventually, but we'll just go ahead and read you the full finishing rundown anyways. With the win here, it's Heggie. It is Josh Edmondson in second. It is Sean Winkler in third. We'll hopefully talk to all 3 of these drivers and Joey Herbie here in just a moment. Fourth to Mark Greco. Greg Johnson will finish in fifth. Ryan Dye in sixth. Stephen Thompson, James Lehman, Joey Herbie, and Trevor O'Neill, the top 10. Jarrell Williams will finish in 11th. Joshua Matichek in 12th. Victor Aldrich in 13th. Matt Schlosser will finish in 14th. And Nathan Ramsey in P15. Colin McDonough in 16th. Rodney Matney, Josh Jackson, Joey Kirk. Your 19 drivers that took the starting grid. I think I should be able to go back and look at the lap 1 crash here. The mother of all messes. Although this is James Lehman coming out of the pits. did say we were going to try. I didn't promise any results, though. Let's back this up and see. Oh, yeah. This is it. I don't even know where you start here.
Yeah,
Look at that.
Just a lot of things that you tend to see here a lot. Just, you pile into turn 2, get into a truck, turns him a little sideways, it all stacks up, and then all hell breaks loose.
This is Colin McDonough from the rear chase, and he is right at the heart of it. And look at that. Absolute calamity. Turn 2, a calamity corner, as they say. So we'll go ahead, and I'm in streamer mode. I cannot see our 3 drivers that are in here. You're going to have to pull up one of our third-place finishers here, whether it is Joey Herbie or Sean Winkler. You know what? We'll just play the guessing game. I've pulled somebody up into the booth here. I'm not even sure who it is because I can't see. So identify yourself, if you would.
Hey, this is Sean Winkler.
Okay, it's Sean Winkler. All right. Second place in round 1, third place in round 2. Welcome to booth 200. Interesting night here, especially there in round number 2.
So. Yeah, absolutely. Starting from the back, it's challenging, and then the track state also challenging. So a lot of variables there for the feature.
Round number 1, you were able to keep pace with Edmondson there pretty well. Especially, it looked like in turn number 2, you were able to make up a lot of time on him. What more did you need there in the first round?
I just need a little more skill. He's next level fast, and I'm kind of like medium fast, so I can stay with him. But getting around him is a different story for sure. He's definitely a great driver.
James, what do you got?
What was going through your mind when the calamity to end all calamities happened there in turn 2 in race 2?
I kind of blacked out and just kind of prayed for the best. It's stacked up, and I was trying to give some room, but then you see it piles up, and you just got to try and get through it the best you can. So not a lot going through my mind there. Just please let me survive and give me a decent enough truck to bring it to the finish. Yeah, it was tough, James.
What are your expectations for the season? You running for the Cup, running full time, or just here to have some fun for a few nights?
I'm here to have fun, but if I can show up to enough of these, I'd love to try and, finish on the podium at least, second, first, third, any of them in the picture would be good. I'd be happy with that. Absolutely. Yeah, it's a fun league. This is pretty cool.
Well, strong run to open up round number 1 and a hell of a drive through the field on round number 2. Congratulations. Let's get some shout-outs for you.
Yeah, thanks. Want to thank Racecraft Academy and NLR and Real Broker. Thanks to Josh as well, because I do drive with him quite a bit, so it helps to drive with some fast guys. And thanks for you guys for putting this on. And it's really a great time out here. Yeah, this is fun.
All right, partner. Thank you for the time here tonight. Congrats. We'll hopefully talk to you again in a couple weeks.
Yeah, hope so too. See ya.
We'll talk to your winner of round number 1 and the runner-up finisher here in round number 2. It's Josh Edmondson for the first time in booth 200. Congrats on those successes here tonight.
Thank you.
Very interesting tale of 2 races for you. Round number 1, of course, you get out to the early lead, but Sean Winkler there keeping you honest throughout that entire run.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. He was definitely pressuring me the whole time. So we had to charge hard, and kept it clean though. It was fun. Managed to take home the win, so stoked on that one.
And then we get to round 2, of course, for the full field inverts for the second race, and the gates opening up there in the second turn, and some other problems as well. But still a fantastic drive to end up back in second.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun too. A little different. I did get caught up a couple times, having to come to a stop and back up one time. That cost quite a bit. But to come back to P2 was pretty cool. I had to fight hard for that one, and that was actually the most fun I've had on the sim in a while.
James, what you got?
Just take me through a little more of the battle with Sean and how close he was to you, because Because I know that you and I have raced quite a bit, but I've never been able to be as close to you as he was. So, what was it like trying to get through the corners and trying to keep an eye on the back and try to make sure that he's not getting closer than what you want him to be at that point in the race?
Yeah, you definitely have to be a little defensive in some sections. You can run a little faster if you open the corner up, but then you leave the inside open, and he was close enough to make a move. So I just played a little defensive there for a while. I made a couple mistakes too. That allows you to close in, and yeah, there's not a lot to separate us. Sean's really fast, and these trucks, they're pretty close. It's really hard to separate yourself, and yeah, I don't know. He did a really good job just staying right there. I'll just say he had the draft. How's that?
That works for me. Plus 19 in round number 2 to get up to second, but you'll go down as the first ever official points-paying winner here with the Special Stage Pro Truck Series. So congratulations on the win and the runner-up. Let's get some shout-outs for you.
Thank you. Yeah, shout out you guys putting on the broadcast. Definitely want to go back and watch this one. And then, yeah, everybody who puts the league together. It's cool to see another off-road league. Yeah, I'm excited to keep showing up, hopefully, for as many as I can and have some fun. And, yeah, also shout out to the team, Channel 199 Sim Racing, and everybody on there. And look forward to coming back and doing some more racing.
All righty, partner. Thank you for the time here tonight. Congrats on the win. Congrats on the second. We'll hope to talk to you again in a couple weeks.
Thank you. Cheers.
And now, from two drivers that have not been to Booth 200, that one has been here quite a few times before, mainly on Wednesday nights, but it's time for a little Friday night action with Joshua Heggie, your winner here tonight of round number 2. Welcome back to the Booth, partner, and congrats on the win.
I'd just like to thank this Red Dog machine for not breaking down on me this weekend. I went for a little ride there in the first heat.
I mean, good work by the crew to patch it back together. I think James and I have come to the conclusion you may have been one of, if not the only driver to finish round number 2 with a hood.
Oh yeah, I'll have to look at it.
I mean, what was the key for? I mean, the invert helped a little bit and some problems there in round number 1 as well. But you still had to pass quite a few trucks to get yourself up to the front of the heap here.
Yeah, having a clear track after I got some passes done was the biggest help. No lap cars, but I got a good start and plenty of time to get by them. So I've never encountered the track conditions like that before. And I do a lot of these in officials or from time to time, and that the front end's just like washing out because it gets all slick on mid corner. And I've never experienced that with these trucks or done the setup. Had a little technical difficulty. Like I gridded with like 30 seconds left, so I didn't even get to practice with the new setup or anything.
Oh, wow.
So it's cold turkey.
Well, sometimes cold turkey is the best way to go, obviously, with the result here. You can't argue with the result at the end of round number 2. James, what you got for the race winner?
Yeah, take us through your audition to be the cover of the next Tony Hawk Pro Skater entry. That sure was the time there in race 1, trying to see if you could get the truck off.
Yeah, roller coaster, skateboard, pick your analogy. It was took a lot longer than I thought. I don't think I've ever done that in officials before, but I've seen plenty of people do it, and I can't believe I did. I joined so late. I didn't get my force feedback set up, and I was just, like I said, it was cold turkey, no practice was set up, and I went straight up that wall. I think if you go too far on the inside, it will actually put you in the pits. Luckily, it didn't do that. I mean, running down to the end of the pit lane like I did was probably faster than doing a tow. So,
well, what a night for you here to wind up the winner of round number 2. What are the expectations for the season? You're going to run part-time, full-time? How do we feel about the rest of the season?
I'm going to try to make it. I was going to be disappointed. I was looking forward to tonight, so I was having all those technical difficulties and managed to make it. Glad I did. But I've never done a league race in dirt before, so I was talking to some of the other guys in the booth. I said, I wish we were kind of racing the faster trucks, but I do have a few of these tracks. I think there's 2 that I don't have. But Bark River is certainly a really fun combo with the fast ones anyway. I've not done these. But I'm looking forward to it. and I'll have to check out the broadcast, see what it looks like too.
And for the record, just for our Sunday Xfinity League and the ASRL Xfinity Series, I did petition Corey to put this track in particular on the schedule, and he didn't go for it. So I'll say that's his loss and probably everybody else's gain. But regardless, you take the dub here in round number 2. Congratulations. Anybody you want to thank? Anybody you want to shout out? Have at it.
Nick Batista, my crew chief, for talking my ear off on trying to drive, and you guys for doing the broadcast. Anybody who allows me the time to do all this. So that's about it for now. I didn't really expect to be up here, so we'll get it polished up as the season goes along. So.
As I say, for not having any practice and having technical difficulties, ended up P1 at the end of the night is an awfully good result. So we'll be excited to see you get polished up here through the season and hopefully talk to you plenty more. But go soak up this one, go party hard, and we'll talk to you again here soon.
Have a good weekend.
And a reminder, we got an off week next Friday nights. Apparently something important is going on. But regardless, James, what a night here. First 2 races are in the books for special stage, and excited for many more to come.
Yeah, this was a great race. We saw a lot of awesome side-by-side action, a lot of chaos, a lot of calamity. Ultimately, I think everyone put on a fantastic show, and yeah, I can't wait for a couple weeks when we're doing it again.
Well, let's go ahead and shout out to everybody that was hanging out with us here. Gecko slips in there late. And, of course, thanks to Stickers McQueen, Corey Rutherford, Matt Williamson, Bailey Murray Matichek, and Nate Seifker, Nate the Great, hanging out with us. Appreciate anybody that was hanging out and anybody that will watch this later on the VOD. Be sure to, of course, with a new league, I'm going to be saying people's names wrong. So if you're one of my victims here tonight, please DM me and let me know. Don't pull a Hunter Engrav and sit on it for 2 years and then casually point it out to me at some point. Let me know right away and I'll get it fixed for the future. But man, what a night here. Thank you very much to Matt Schlosser for putting this deal together. I know the drivers appreciate it. We appreciate it here on Turn 200. Get us a little bit different flavor of racing here on the channel, and excited for 7 more races of this. And thanks to the GOAT, James Watson, the 2-time Daredevil champ, the 8-time Pro 2 Lights official champ, stepping up here on Turn 200 and doing some color. Great job here tonight. Thank you for the time. Looking forward to many more weeks of this, partner.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
And shout out to Snark Racing there in the chat. Thank you to the SimWrap guy. Thank you to Team Watson Racing Setup Shop. And thank you to our sponsors here on Turn 200 as well. Echo Blade by Echo Blade on Steam. Oh my gosh. Whiplash Sim Cams. Oh boy, I'm going to get in trouble for that one. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. But that's all we got for you here tonight, folks. Until we meet again here from Wild West Motorsports Park, I am Tommy Cook saying so long and congratulations to your 2 winners here tonight. It's the Joshes, Josh Edmondson in round number 1 and Josh Heggie in round number 2. Have a good night, everybody.
This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.